Offering my humble and prayerful salutations to our beloved Bhagavan. A very, very wonderful evening to each one of you on this very auspicious Sunday evening. It's my proud and privilege to introduce Brother Dev Lulla to share his thoughts with us today. Let me formally introduce, and maybe I'll add a couple of my more, my personal connection with him as well towards the end. So Brother Dev Lulla is originally hails from Mumbai and currently is settled in Vadodara. So he is actually joining us from Vadodara, or Baroda as we call it sometimes. While in Mumbai, he was an active Balvika student, and during which he had the rare good fortune of playing the role of Sai Baba in the dance drama during Bhagwan's visit to Mumbai in January 1982. So almost 40 years back. In the year 1985, when he was pursuing his 12th standard or 12th grade, which we also call as junior college, Brother Dev was fortunate to be personally called by our beloved Bhagwan to Prashanti Nilayam to enroll in the BCom or Bachelor's of Commerce Honors program at Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, which is Bhagwan's University at Prashanti Nilayam. Then again in the year 1990, after his completion of his BCom, Swami handpicked him to be part of the 5th batch of the prestigious MBA program of Bhagwan's University. Thus, he had the good fortune of being personally selected by Bhagwan himself, not once, but on 2 occasions. During his stay at Prashanti Nilayam, he got multiple opportunities for personal interactions with our beloved Bhagwan. Swami would often lovingly address him as Bombay Boy while summoning him for instructions. During his stay here, he was blessed. During his stay there, he was blessed with numerous one-on-one interactions and personal interviews in which Swami would instruct him in personal sadhana. He also has had the privilege of being in several plays, dramas at Prashanti Nilayam as part of the university, some of which were directed by Bhagavan himself. Brother Dev Lulla hails from a family of famous educators, and he's inspired by his parents. He himself also adopted the teaching profession since last 2 decades. Currently, he heads an educational institution in Vadodara, Gujarat, where he coaches students for academic excellence in school curriculum. And doing so, he shares the blessings and all the experiences that he has received directly from Bhagwan to his students there. Brother Dev Lulla, in fact, I was privileged to meet him a couple of weeks back in Baroda when I was there. And the satsang went on for almost 3 hours. And while coming back, I was completely soaked in bliss. And I can imagine what we are all waiting to hear today. And I request Brother Dev to just take us back in those wonderful days of 60s, 70s, 80s, even 90s, and soak us in bliss. I would also request, since he's from Baroda, there are some rare experiences when Bhagwan visited the city of Baroda then in 60s. And if he can share those with us, it'll be an absolute blissful experience for all of us. So over to you, Brother Dev Lulla. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, sir. Thank you so much. Anyatha sharanam nasti, tvameva sharanam mama, tasmat karunya bhavena raksha saishwaraha. I offer my most humble pranams at the lotus feet of our Lord. And Sai Ram to all the dear brothers and sisters who have joined in today. First of all, I'm very happy and I'm very thankful to all of you for having given me an opportunity to share my thoughts. It's been an amazing journey, just living on this planet, coming in Swami's fold, growing in Swami's fold, and being a part of the journey has been truly amazing. Let me start right from the time when I was born, and I'll be very honest with you. Swami made himself a part of my house even before I was born. So, 1966, 67, 68, Swamiji actually happened to come to Baroda in 1967 and 68. I think he stayed for 1 or 2 days. He actually organized the Samiti. He inaugurated the Samiti. the activities. If my memory serves me right, 1968, after the trip to Gujarat, I think he had also gone to Dwarka and blessed the city of Dwarka. And I don't think he's ever gone back again. That was a beautiful trip. He also went to Somnath, and I believe he uh, below the lingam, the lingam that exists right now, he actually sort of channelized the energies and brought back the original lingam. So Somnath and Dwarka are two blessed places, and then the center for the travel was Vadodara, and so he came to Vadodara, and at that time, it was a very different situation. I don't know how many of you could go back to that time and relate. It was not the time of the internet, it was not the time of the mobile phones. It was a very slow time. It would be the time of letter writing, or at max, a telegram. See? So I'm talking of those days where we didn't have technology, we had a very simple setup. Now, during that time, when Swamiji came, the preparations here were on in Baroda, and a lot of people were invited. In fact, I definitely like to share with you something really rare. Uh, we had the opportunity to one second. I'll share my screen. I would like to show you the photograph of how the invitation card was printed at that time. It's another amazing thing that you should see. Here it is. I guess. Am I? Is it? Can you see it now? Can you see the screen?
Yeah, we can see the screen. Maybe you can click the image. We can see the entire folder.
You can see the entire folder. Okay, so okay. I'll share the right. 1 minute. Right. So here it is. Maybe you'll be able to see the right now. It's better.
Yes, we can see.
So this was actually the Amantran Patrika that was printed way back. Now you can see the quality of printing will tell you that there was nothing high tech about things there at that time. But this is the original copy. And if you notice clearly, in very simple printing, in simple handwriting, few people had been invited. And you can see on the left, there are the names of the members who were sort of chosen as the president and vice president, and one of my chachas was also in the whole in the whole program. That's when I want to share with you this. That's when actually my family realized that this is Lord Krishna walking in on 2 feet. There was absolutely no doubt, because when we see Swami the first time, I mean, first time devotees will definitely relate with this. You don't know the person walking. Is he a god? Is he what? What is he? So you have a set of questions in your mind. You have a set of conditions to be fulfilled. And there you go. Swami just walks up straight to you, looks into your eye, and says, "Ah, bolo." And like, okay, my prayers are now answered. This is it. I mean, I know you are God, otherwise it's not possible. So that's how my whole family got sort of soaked into that atmosphere. So that was 68 and 60, 67 and 68. Now, I was born in 1970, and during that time, many of the old devotees will actually relate with this. There were lots and lots of houses where bhajans used to go on. It was not really like a samiti, but there were bhajan centers everywhere, small centers of just 5 or 6 families would get together, and there would be a huge Swami's photograph. And there was one such place in Baroda, very close to my house. And it so happened that my parents, my mom and my dad, they would walk down in the night and say, "Let's go and have Swami's darshan. It's been time, we've not had Swami's darshan." So they happened to visit. This was, I think, 69 or 70. And when they went to that auntie's house, the door was locked. So these olden houses, you see, they had these doors, these windows which you could open, and then a little bit of window open. Hey, you can see Swami's mandir. The lights are on. And my father said, "Oh God, we've just come walking in the night. We've just come walking in the night. We really don't have anything to offer. Why? I wish we could do this, And at that moment, At that dead of the night, there happens to be somebody selling flowers on a hand cart. And my dad is like, you don't even have a proper road here. And the flowers were not ordinary flowers, they were lotus flowers. So my father is like, this is beautiful. I mean, you just think about offering something to the Lord, and then there comes flowers, lelo, and that too in the night. It's not possible. There were no street lights, by the way. That was the time there was no street light also. So if you had to walk, you had to walk with a torch in the hand. I'm talking of those days, right? So suddenly to find a person who sells lotuses in the at that time of the night, no, it was not possible. But then I think Swami made it possible. So my dad took those two lotuses and he set it on the windowsill and offered it to Swami and said, okay, I can at best have darshan through the window. And he left it there and we walked away. In a couple of days, the lady of the house, who she must have realized, oh, these flowers are kept here, and who's kept them, I don't know. The lady where the bhajans used to happen, and vibhuti and amrit used to come, there was this time when there would be a lot of miracles in the house. So she happened to just in her cleaning, the regular cleaning, she just took those two flowers and she chucked them out. And she said, okay, purana hai, let's throw this away. And that night, Swamiji comes in her dream and says, where did you keep my flowers? Those two lotus flowers, do you know, my bhaktas had come when you were not there and they had kept these two flowers. Where did you keep them? And she was so aghast. Next morning, she got up and she says, I had no idea who's kept this. And she was so perplexed. And that same day, my dad and mom again had to visit, and they said, did you receive those two flowers? And she went on, was it you? My dad said, what happened? Swami came in my dream and he literally shouted at me, where are my flowers? My bhaktas had come with the flowers. Where are my flowers? The whole thing is that Swami was working through people even at a time there was no internet, there was no nothing, but this was there, and he was there in the people's minds, he was there in their dreams, he was guiding them. But the best part was Swami acknowledged my parents as my bhaktas. We can say we are devotees of the Lord. It's very easy for us. I am Swami's devotee. Swami has to accept, he's my devotee. See, it can't be a one-way process. So to get the title my bhaktas was something that my father and mother were very simple people, very, very simple people. So soon in my house, I'll tell you, this is how the story goes. Soon in my house, all the small gods and goddesses in the mandir were all replaced by a huge photograph, that old photograph, one Swami standing with the abhayas. I'm sure it would be in all the devotees' houses. That same photograph, that one photograph, we wouldn't even have multiple photographs by the way at that time. Some one printed photograph, and that photograph stood tall. So when I was born, I just looked at the photograph and I was told, Swami is God. Swami is God. So while people grow up in different environments, while people grow up with different forms of God, I just knew one thing. Swami is God. And so while I come on this planet, Swami has already placed himself much before. So there is no option. He takes care of you even before you come on this planet. See, he's looking after your whole journey right from the beginning. Right from the beginning. He knows what has to be done. And you've just entered. So I had the good fortune of being born in this family. It was amazing, to see the influence. My father has always been a Krishna devotee. So he would always think Swami is Lord Krishna of the Kali Yuga. So we would always say Sai Krishna. In my house, it was Sai Krishna. And that feeling that Swami is there in our house, Swami is living in our house, was so strong with my father that he named the house that we stay, as Sai Nivas. And I'll tell you, till today, if you come, you will see the words there, Sai Nivas. Because truly speaking, he sort of said, no, you're a member of the family. We've invited you. This is it. I mean, you are part of our family. So we've always grown with that feeling. Swami is one of us. Swami is our family member. Swami is with us. And that's how my life actually began. Now, very important for those of you who are listening is that the earlier you understand the concept of God clearly, the better you can live your life. The lesser effect the Maya and the world will have on you, because you already have a substratum, and that substratum is so clear that Bhagwan hai, and this is Bhagwan, and ye mere saath hai, khatam. And believe me, we are so lucky to be born in the land of the avatar. We are so lucky to be born at the time of that happening, at the advent. And brothers and sisters, let me tell you, we have been lucky to be born as boys and be selected and to be there with Swami in his institutions, study there with him, have lunches, dinners, and breakfast with him, joke with him, play with him. Can you imagine the kind of um, good fortune that we had? Now, when you look back, it's like, wow. I mean, could this even be possible? At that time, when we were going through it, it was, you would not probably think of it, acha, theek hai, kya hai. But when you lose something and then you find its value, and then that's when you realize, wow, we had an amazing opportunity. Now, while I'm talking to you about this, soon after I was born, my mom and dad shifted to Bombay. So it was very short time. So Baroda and then quick Bombay. So really, when my eyes opened up, I was already in Bombay. So like my eyes were open and I understand the world. I was in Bombay. So it was Bombay and me, and then I was a typical Bombayite. But my dad and mom they were staunch devotees. So Nagar Sankirtan, Bhajan, Pushpa Kunj bhajans. I don't know how many of you still have Pushpa Kunj bhajans on road. I think it was road Marine Drive Road
Yes,
A1.
yes, we still have.
We still have the bhajans going on. So Monday bhajans was like कुछ भी हो जाए Monday bhajan miss नहीं करना है, and then Dharmakshetra getting up early in the morning, booking our tickets in the bus. I don't know, the old devotees will remember, 3:30 in the morning the bus will come. We used to pay the money in advance. We used to go at 4:35. We used to reach there, and Bhagwan's darshan, that lovely darshan that we would get, that was the time. And I was so small. It was like amazingly small. But all this was a part of my psyche. It was just there. A beautiful thing happened in 1974. I was probably just 4 or 5 years old. And my mom got a chance to go to Puttaparthi. There was this auntie, a very, very loving soul, uh, Jean Bagela. She was like very pally with my mother, and they were both like, Swami, Swami, Swami. So then we got a chance to let's go to Puttaparthi. I don't know how many of you ever gone to Puttaparthi in the year 1973 or 74. And if you have not, let me explain to you. First of all, going was tough. Secondly, getting down there at this the Dharmavaram railway station, from the railway station to the bus stop. There was no bus stop, by the way, at that time. From the railway station, you would take a chakra gadi. And it used to take 3 hours in the hot sun, travel by bullock cart, not a drop of water. You have to bear that journey and get to a small hamlet called Puttaparthi. I have clear memories. I was too small, but I have clear memories. Getting up at 4 in the morning and paying 50 rupee for one bucket of water where you can have a bath, so that 5 o'clock you can attend the Nagar Sankirtan. Something that I still remember very clearly. And by the time you have the bath and you come out, it's cold. You see, November and December were very cold at that time. Nowadays, still it is not as cold in Puttaparthi. It was really very cold. It was a beautiful time. But that darshan in the morning, so you can imagine the fervor. And that's the time, I'll tell you, my dear brothers and sisters, I actually sat on the portico for the first time as a small boy. And sitting on the portico, Swami is there, and there was no bhajan. I mean, there was no darshan timing or something. Every time Swami was outside, it was darshan time. There were no lines made, because every line was the first line. Every line was the first. I cannot even begin to tell you what kind of freedom we had, what kind of access we had to the Lord. Didn't realize it, but we had a tremendously close access. And Swamiji would stand. I don't know whether you've seen those old photographs. Swami was pretty slim, in a nice, robust, dark face, and the halo was as huge as and royal. I mean, king, power, massive. And that's how I've seen him right from my childhood. So the impressions that Swamiji allowed me to get at that age was like amazing, amazing. I remember having sat on the portico, and I never knew that few decades from now I'll be sitting back in this same portico. In fact, I remember, if you would feel tired or if I would even make a noise, the Sevadal volunteer would come and say, shh, can't talk, Swami sitting back there. So then I had to move away. And that was the days of the sands. I don't know how many of you remember the days of the sands. The days of the sand, it's like, it was a different thing. I mean, there was complete different. Now what you see Puttaparthi now, Prashantilayam now, and then was like then and now. Huge difference. Huge difference. There was nothing beyond the gate. There's just rocks and mud. And so I'm talking to you about that time. And that's the time when Swamiji used to come and talk to my mother and my father. And I believe me, I felt I was chosen right long ago. I was chosen. And he must have seen, तेरे को इसलिए बुलाया है कि बाद में बुलाऊंगा, अभी तू थोड़ा बड़ा हो जा. And that's that's how I feel. So after I was in Bombay, and because my parents were such ardent Sai devotees, not only ardent Sai devotees, very simple people, very simple people, being teachers right from the beginning. See, I got a chance to be a part of the Balvikas program. Now, I don't know how many of you have children who have gone to Balvikas or have gone to Balvikas yourself. Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, Balvikas is the greatest boon that Swamiji bestowed on humanity. The greatest boon. Because as a small child, if you are going to put these beautiful thoughts, see, what are the 5 Ds, for example? Dedication, devotion, you know, if you know the dedication, devotion, discipline, discrimination, it's just going to be theory at one point of time. But when you grow up and you have to put things into practice, it's like, okay, the 5 Ds. Or one of the things that really influenced me was the 4 Fs. The 4 Fs, beautiful. Follow the master, face the devil, fight till the end, finish the game. And I remember this. It used to be so much in my mind, follow the master, face the devil, fight till the end, finish the game. Follow the master. Believe me, whether you like it or not, once you're into Swami's fold, he is your divine master. He is instructing you every moment, through every situation, through every person you meet. He's pounding information to you. He's pounding those thoughts, those feelings, literally percolating through every cell of your body. What choice do you have? You have to soak it. What a blessing. What an amazing blessing. So this is how I grew up, 1974, 1975. I'll share a small miracle that happened with my mom during that time. When we were like, every small incident that would happen, Swami remembered me. Swami is, we were seeing him in daily life. We could not go to Puttaparthi very frequently, but we could see Swami's hand in every small thing. So one fine day, my mother gets a dream. And in the dream, Swami says, look, I'm coming to your house at 11 o'clock. Says, Swami, you're coming to my house at 11 o'clock? Yeah, I'm coming to your house at 11 o'clock. And then that's it. That the dream was finished. So morning she gets up, 7 o'clock. She's like, I have drink my cup of tea. Swami told me I'm coming at 11 o'clock. Was I dreaming, or was it just, figment of, you start doubting. That's the human mind. That's the human mind. You start doubting. And then she had things to do. You know how Bombay life is. People have to get up early in the morning and do things. And it's a life full of activity, full of things to do. So she was out for her work. And then by the time she realized I have to come back home, by the time she rushed and came back, it was 11:15. I missed it, she said. 11 o'clock हो गया, 11:15 हो गया, 15 minute हो गया. So she ran home and she said, कोई आया था? 11 बजे कोई आया था? नहीं, कोई नहीं आया था. Nobody had come. Nobody had come. नहीं, कोई तो आया होगा. My mother was like, no, my dream cannot be. Swami does not. You cannot get Swami's dream if you want to. Swami's dream comes when he wills it. And then it was like, yes, there was somebody who rang the doorbell at 11 o'clock. Who was it? Who was it? My mother is asking next side. Oh, somebody brought a Diwali gift. It was like, Cadbury's Nutties chocolate ka box. I don't know how many of you remember the olden days used to get one. purplish color box, Cadbury's Nutties box. Oh, okay. That's what came. That's what came. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so she just took it. It was kept on the table. She kept it in the fridge. That's it. Went in the refrigerator. Evening time, Swami, she's still thinking the whole day. She's thinking 11 o'clock. Swami didn't come. What was he trying to say? Keep reflecting on those words that Swami will come. And then suddenly in the evening, she says, "Arey, Nutties ka box aayo." Maybe like how we exchange Diwali sweets and all. Maybe it would have come in that form. And she just happened to say, let's open that box. I mean, just let's open that box and let's partake of those beautiful sweets. And she opened that box. My dear brothers and sisters, there were no nutties there. It was a box full of beautiful Swami's photographs, glazed photographs, amazing print. And it had come from Kamlu Didi's house. Kamlu Didi, Kamlu Didi, all of you. So it had come from her house. It was, I think, Manu, her brother, Deepak, and from their house it had come. And probably they wanted to send nutties, but they exchanged the boxes. They looked the same. And then, so in the evening, we got a phone call saying, "Arey, galti se aapke yahan pe ghar pe wo box galat aa gaya hai. That's not for you." Mommy said, "No, Baba, this is my box. Swami has come to me. I'm not giving this box back." So every small instance, every small thing, believe me, led us more and more to believe that Swami is in charge of our life. He is taking care of us through and through. Every week, every day, there would be a miracle. Every small thing would be a miracle. So it was like Swami's house. In that time, I was going regularly to Balvikas. And I want to make this as a mention to all of you. Balvikas plays a very important role in the formation of the character of an individual. Let's not ever forget the importance of this beautiful thing. So Balvikas, we used to do bhajans with Kamlu Didi was my favorite. She was a lovely teacher at that time, and she would really take up the diary, the book, and then she would show Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhayanti. I still remember everything. All the bhajans I sang, all the mantras that I did, everything was ingrained. And believe me, that's such a beautiful age. Now there came a time when Swamiji was coming to Bombay. Ah, beautiful. 1992. 1992 January, Swami is coming to Bombay, and we have to put up a program. We have to put up a drama. What do we do? So of course there is Nimish Bhai who comes in, and then there's a huge lovely program. And the program was that we are going to enact Swami's life in front of Swami. We are going to enact Swami's life. And can you believe I got the brilliant opportunity to play Sai Baba at that time when he's leaving the house and saying goodbye. I think this was what, Avatar Declaration Day. This could be sort of October 20th, 1940. So we were replaying that. So we had practice sessions, and we would meet together, and there was a dance drama and everything. And the day came when I had to go on the stage, and Swami comes to the green room behind, and I'm like, no, I can't fail. And you see, because I had to play the role, so I had to take special permission in my school. The principal will say, "You got long hair, you have to cut your hair." And Nimish Bhai told me, "Baal nahi katna." So we wanted to make Swami's hair look so baal mat katwana. I'm like, okay, I try my best, but then finally I had to talk to the principal. Look, I am playing in the drama and I cannot. So there were about more than 10-15,000 people, Dharmakshetra. Amazing time. Swami comes in the green room behind, and I'm like, my God, what am I going to tell him? Okay. So the other kids are playing different roles. Swami, I'm playing Ishwarama. Swami, I'm this. Swami, I'm this. And I could not talk. I've always been very silent in front of Swami. When Swami is in front of you, you can't talk. I mean, meri to bolti band, honestly speaking. So I was trying to recollect in my mind, what do I say? Sai Ram Swami, I am Swami. What do I say? What do I tell? So I just folded my hands and I stood there silent. And he looked straight at me. My God, you got to see that look. And he's happy, he's so happy. His face is. That was my very first interaction personally when I was a little more mature. I could think. I was about 12 years old. Beautiful time. And I'm really going to love to show you the photograph if I can here. This is the time when some of you may be able to. Can you see the screen properly?
Yeah, we can see.
I'll show you. This is. Oh yeah, okay. So this is something I missed showing you. This is the photograph of the invitation that had gone out in Vadodara. So it was 1968. It's a very rare thing. I brought it from the internet just to show you how simple it was. Just see this is a simple crowd, no formal arrangements, nothing. Yes. So here it is. I'll show you. Yeah, this is it. So yes, in the morning time, there was this exhibition, and the exhibition Swami comes, and he I was given the charge of explaining all the projects, like we made some different projects, and Nimish Bhai was a genius even at that time, not only now. He's right from that time. I don't know how his mind used to work so brilliantly well. He made up a huge mountain, and on the top there was the goal, reaching God. And from there is one path, and then there is another path, and then there is another path. And so this is the karma marg, this is the bhakti marg, this is the gyan marg, and we made the whole project. So wherever you go, whatever marg you take, you are going to land up at the same God. Okay, so the concept was like this. Like that, we had multiple projects, and I was sitting and explaining. Believe me, I had absolutely no idea whom I'm standing in front of. And I'm very coolly, like a dumb fellow, explaining, Swami, this is like this, Swami, this is. And in Bombay, I don't know how many of you know, there is something called as Radio Club. Radio Club was, I don't know whether it's there now. Radio Club was somewhere near Apollo Bandar, I guess. It was near the Taj Hotel. So it was a very famous joint for a lot of people to go out at that time. The high-fi people would always go on, we were going to Radio Club. So when we were making the project, we had to put, club, car, everything we had to put. So I said, hey, let's put the Radio Club. That's the common thing. And believe me, Swami knows everything. He knows everything. Coolly comes there, looks at me and says, Radio Club, ah? it was like every moment he is aware of what you're doing, and there is not a single moment that he's not present with you. He is listening. He may choose not to respond, but don't ever doubt that his presence is there. He knows everything, and he's shown this multiple times. So there is this beautiful thing, with Swami, Divine Master. He's got this lovely, he'll show you the glimpse, and then there is a veil of illusion, veil of Maya, and then he'll look at you, kya hua? Kya time hai? Acha. And suddenly you will get lost into the world. Hey, he's looking like a normal, and then suddenly the veil goes out. Hey. So, those moments are precious. Moments are really, really precious. So this was the first interaction. And then just like this, believe me, my faith grew stronger. My longing grew stronger. I really did not realize that people do not have a life the way I had. My mental processes had changed. See, my mental processes were not the processes that normal people have. So I was already different from the others. Because if you talk to somebody about Swamiji, they will not know. Or they have an entirely different version of God. But for me, God is a personal thing. See, He talks to me. He talks to me. God talks to me. And they wouldn't understand this. It's difficult for people to even fathom that. How can you talk to God? How can you have not seen God? It's, I've seen God. You can't see God. How can you see? So I learned to remain shut, because I realized that I have been gifted with something that people don't understand. So I know it's been difficult. I'm sure all of you also must be facing this. I believe in Swamiji as God. People will say, "Nahi, nahi, don't believe in." But that's going to happen because everybody does not have this written. Everybody does not have, and they will never have it. See, so I told you the greatest privilege is that we are born at a time that the avatar is there. We got a chance to be with the avatar. We got selected as a student. Another thing, we were born as boys. My boys, my boys. Can you believe it? It's an opportunity, and an opportunity, one in a billion opportunity to be getting this kind of privilege. And so many of us probably even did not realize. I'm coming to when I was in standard 12th, and there was a little gap, 1992 to 1995, 96, 97. So that gap, I was growing up. And when you grow up in a city like Bombay, there is Maya everywhere. See, you get caught up with a lot of things. And there is, and then, okay, the Balvikas program was over. I was not so much in touch. It was the ninth and the 10th, struggling to get admissions. I wasn't a very brilliant student. No, 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 no. I was hardworking, but I was not too brilliant. So I had to put in a lot of effort and got a good percentage. Had to go to college, work hard and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is tough. This is really something challenging. And then in the year 19, was it 87? I think in the months of September or October, my memory goes somewhere there. There was something called as the Vice Chancellor's Conference. I think it was happened for the first time there, where my father was invited because Swamiji was opening the college in Anandpur. The B.Ed college in Anandpur was being opened, and in that B.Ed college being opened, my father was playing the role because he was a member of the governing council and the academic council. My father was actually involved in making the program, involved in getting the syllabus ready. In fact, he stayed there in Puttaparthi for many days, training the teachers and training the students for the B.Ed college. Now, during that time, Swamiji was very kind enough to grant him multiple interviews. And that was just one on one with Swami. So, just one on one with Swami is amazing. Again, the concept of personal God. And in that, Swami was, Yemi, Chepu, say, what do you want to say? This Swami, I am in Bombay, I'm a principal. Swami even invited him. Would you like to come and join here? Would you like to come here? This Swami, I'm here like this. I can keep coming. And my wife is a teacher. My daughter is here in Puttaparthi, is staying here. Uh, and my elder son, is a chartered accountant. Swami would listen quietly, not utter a word, and waited for that last sentence. In the last sentence, he said, my younger son is in standard 12th. And my dad was a little worried about me because I was not too brilliant. So, and moment he took my name, Swami said, uska tum sab mere par chhod do. Like suddenly my dad is like, what? What did I hear just now? What did I hear? Swami said, uska tum mere pe chhod do. Just send him to me. Yes, Swami, absolutely. So that's when Swami insisted that I come to Puttaparthi. And before I go to the next part of that, I'll also tell you that Swamiji, when all the vice chancellors and all the academicians were there, he would talk of academics and how a spiritual bent or the spiritual education is so important to be into a part of the academics. You cannot teach spirituality separately. Cannot be done. It has to be wound inside the regular part and it has to go. So the core curriculum will then become a little, so bits and parts you have to take spirituality and get it into the heads of the people. That's how transformation takes place. Right? So when he was giving all this, and then in the end, Swami said, now chalo, time to go. And believe me, you know how Swami is. Once many of you, if you've got a chance to be in the interview room, it's a blissful event. It's a blissful event. And Swami would just raise his hand in the air, and something large is coming, something big is coming. But you won't expect what it is because you never know. Swami, you cannot guess what he's wanting to do. So the wave of his hand, and my father is standing like, okay, now something is coming. I don't know what it is. And can you believe what came out? Garam garam bundi. Bundi, khane wali bundi. Such beautiful, such fragrant bundi, hot, right into the palms of my father. He said, Khao, eat. One mind says, let me eat a little bit, let me take. No, 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 eat. This is for you. And he said, academicians, they have thinking going on. It's the work of the brain. So you must eat. You must take this. Believe me, you've seen materializations we've all seen materializations, of rings and lockets and stuff like that. But garam bundi, on the spot, your hands will burn. That kind of bundi coming out from Swami's palms, amazing. So that's how Swami was. He would take care of every bit, every small bit he would take care of. He would cover all the aspects, not a single aspect left out, mind you. Once you're with Swami, then you have to leave it. Everything is covered. So I'll continue with the story. There it goes. As that Swamiji sent this message through my father, and my father came and said, "Look, Swami is calling you." He said, "Tum iska mere pe sab chhod do," and so you have to. So that's the message for you. And I'm like, so I'm in 12th standard. I'm an average student. What will I do? How will I do? I can't understand. It was very tough for me to even fathom कि मैं कैसे जाऊंगा पुट्टपर्ती. How I'm a misfit now. I'm so much into the Bombay life. I have my motorcycle. I have my friends. मैं घूमता रहता हूँ. क्या ये कैसे होगा? This. नहीं मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा because I know it's a tough life. It's very difficult. Like, I've seen the place. I've heard about the place. I don't think I can ever do that. So there was doubt and there was reluctance, and then there was doubt and there was reluctance, and then there was Swami's call. Now, that's how the mind plays with you. The mind actually plays with you. Swami's word is final. You all know that. But then there is this mind that's going to play havoc, and test you and here and there. So incidentally, I had to visit Puttaparthi. I did visit Puttaparthi in 1986 December. And I was like, Swami, now you only clarify what I have to do. I can't think. I'm not spending my time thinking, mere se nahi hoega. You tell me what has to be done. I'm so messed up into this life, and Bombay life is a little different. If anybody has been in junior college in Bombay, you know how it is. So I sat there in darshan, and that day I was very sober. I was very serious, and I was really waiting. Swami, I need your guidance. So it was sort of, right from the beginning, there was this one-on-one connect. The concept of the personal God. This is me, this is God, and I talk to God. I talk to God, and God talks to me. So I was waiting for his response. And moment Swami comes out, and I start feeling an entirely different wave of energy. And this is something that I have never seen all throughout my life. I stood there and I was wondering what the hell is happening to me, and what's happening to me. My hands were frozen, my legs were frozen. I was just sitting there, and my eyes had tears down. It was almost a surge of devotion and emotion. And Swami comes closer and closer, and it doesn't even bother to look. No. And he would come there, and by that time my body was shaking. I was like, what's happening? I don't even know what's happening. And then while pretending to give letters and take letters from people, he came and stood right next to me. And that's when I knew I have to hold on to his feet. See, it's a beautiful thing. He will not allow others to even realize what's happening. So while he's taking letters, talking to people, he's actually waiting for you to take a lovely namaskar. It's it's unthinkable. He's doing multiple things at the same time. I'm sure he's solving thousands of queries, he's blessing hundreds of people, and at the same time he is standing at a spot where he knows I need his blessing. And then after taking his blessing nicely, he blessing me, he walked past, and I felt so relieved and so different. Believe me, that day, I think end of December 1986, I felt there was a dramatic change. This is not the person who sat there. I got up a different person. So I thought maybe I'm just feeling this because it's been a surge of emotion. You know how the mind is. You play this way and that way both. No, I'm feeling different. I'm definitely not the same person I was. And I didn't realize this. After a few days, I went back to my college, back to Bombay. I didn't feel the same again. In fact, the students who were with me in Bombay, I used to talk to them every day. They would look at me and then see through me because they would not know that this guy is not the same. He's not the same. So you see, unless your vibes match, yes, you cannot connect. And Swamiji had already changed my vibes. So it was like, unfurling something in something new coming out. I felt the life before and the life after that visit was not the same. So one part of my journey came to a close, and I became a totally silent fellow. Got to studying because I know now Swami has called me and I can't gel in this crowd. I didn't like the noise. I didn't like traveling like this. Everything about me suddenly changed. And I was like, what is this? It took time for me, even me, to understand uh, what kind of transformation I'm going through. Believe me, if any of you have witnessed or felt this, you will realize the power with which this happens. And that was just the beginning. See, so I knew I had to apply for admissions. And incidentally, let me tell you, we were fortunate. Uh, just 1 year prior to that, Swamiji had sent one of his professors to Bombay, because Sri Satyasai Institute of Higher Learning is taking admission exams in Bombay that year. It has never happened. And they needed a location, and the location was my father's college. He was the principal of a college. And I'm like, so I got to know everything about the college. I think it was Professor Prabhakar Rao who had come, and he spoke to me. He stayed with us for 2 days, and Swami has sent me this. So I was like, wow, my house, that was the building I stayed in. My house is the center for Swami's admission. So I got all the information firsthand. I didn't have to do much. See, it's like, if once he has decided that it has to happen, you don't have to do any effort. The effort is already done. So next year I applied, and I was like, I don't know much. I'm a very average student. I just finished my board exams. The results had not come, and as I said, I was so average in my studies. It was just okay. And then I said, if Swami has called me, then getting me passed with good percentages and all is his job. Now I am free. I don't have to do anything. So I just went and gave the exam. I thought it would be a half an hour, 1 hour exam. And mind you, Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning entrance exams is not a joke. Anybody who's given entrance exam will know that the papers that they set are amazingly tough. They really take, and believe me, whatever best I could do, I did. Otherwise, it was Sairam and tick. That's it. भगवान आप ही कर रहे हो, मैं कहाँ कर रहा हूँ, मेरे को तो कुछ आता नहीं है. And then finally it happened. Swami said, "Acha, isko lena hai, khatam." It was just a formality. See, it's just a formality. Things just fall into place. And then I said, now if I've got provisional admission, तो मेरा 12th का तो result आएगा ही अच्छा. मेरे को कोई पड़ी नहीं. I was not bothered. I was just not bothered. I was like, so I sat in front of my mother and said, "Mommy, give me the permission. I want to go." "No, no, how will you go? How will you stay alone?" "I'm going. I don't want to bother about my result also." "Hey, let your 12th standard result come." He said, "No, I'm not. I'm not waiting." So I went there. I stayed in Puttaparthi. Right from there only I left. After that, I was done. I don't need anything more. And here the result comes. I'm getting a 94% in accountancy. You know, like what? First time in my life I'm getting 94%. See, he takes care of everything. Once he has decided that it is you, the chosen one, you have to do this. It's done. All you have to do is just face it there. Just go and do it, and it's done. Sorted. Not that. So beautiful time. So this, the first part I'm just explaining to you how before he called me to Puttaparthi also, he was after my life right from there, like a divine master. He's tracking you every move, every listening to everything you're saying. And then comes a time you're finally in Puttaparthi. In Puttaparthi, life in Puttaparthi, believe me, brothers and sisters, is not simple. I thought it's going to be a simple reclusive life. ऐसा बैठने का पूरा दिन meditation करने का. No. Forget about it. Full of activity. Full of activity. There was not a day that I was free. How many of you must have been there? I'm sure many of you would have experienced this. Morning, even in the hostel, morning, getting up, right from the, what do you say, the 5 o'clock bell in the hostel. And you, groggy eyes, you're getting up. What's the time? It's 5 o'clock. And what is it? Chalo, utro. And then there is Suprabhatam. And then there is. So by the time you're like 9:30 in the night, I'm exhausted. Like, you don't sleep. You just close your eyes and you're knocked out. I don't know how many of you have been students or have witnessed that. It's beautiful. Every day is a celebration. Every day is a celebration. There are hundreds of things happening parallelly, and you want to take part here, you want to take part here, I want to be here. So Swami had this beautiful way of connecting with students. You see, it's later on I realized that all these activities we did, why we were happy? We were happy because the center of our life was Swami. If you are doing anything for him, it is happiness. Simple. So if I'm practicing for the band, then also I'm happy because I'm doing it for him. It's getting up early in the morning and doing everything focused around Swami. So we got a chance to sanctify each and every moment, believe me, it's amazing. And a very strange thing happened when I joined the hostel there. The hostel typically served spicy food because it was the South Indian style, and Venkatachalam sir had amazing skills of cooking. So, but I just couldn't eat the food. So I started developing allergies. I just couldn't digest the food. I started falling sick. It was like, Swami, I have want to stay here, and hey, mera, if I'm not able to set here, how will I even enjoy? So one fine day, it just happened that I was too unwell, and message went to the registrar, and he happened to speak to Swami, and Swami says, just transfer him home, let him eat home food for some time. I was so happy, not because of the home food, because I would get to stay as a day scholar. See, so hardly spending some few months in the hostel, I got transferred and I got. See, if you are staying in the hostel, you have your limitations of time. You can't go out. Whereas me as a day scholar could enter the mandir anytime. So where a normal student could get 365 darshans in a year, because you go once in the evening, 4 o'clock you go for darshan, 3:30 you go for darshan. I am getting double, triple. I'm almost staying. If I'm not at the college, I'm in the mandir, and the mandir was free access for us. So whether I'm studying or whether I'm sleeping, it's the mandir. It was amazing. Believe me, I cannot even dream such a thing I experienced, and I got this good fortune. Now, I'm going to share with you one beautiful instance that took place. You know, the first term gets over, everybody goes home. Everybody goes home. And we go home, we watch the television. And Swami say, hey, ghar jayega, TV mat dekhna. No movies, nothing. Yes, Swami, in front of Swami, you can't utter a word. Yes, Swami, definitely. And then you go there, and then some friend tells you, let's go for a movie, and blah, blah, blah. So though I had not watched a movie, some of my friends in the hostel said, hey, बहुत naya movie अच्छा निकला. And we were standing in the lines going to the darshan. It was about 3:45 in the evening. I think the name of the student also, Ashok. So Ashok was with me, and we were chatting, and yeah, you know this movie, beautiful movie. I said, no, I didn't get a chance to see. But he's saying, no, you gotta watch the Amitabh Bachchan's role, and it's amazing. And then I just, we had to go in the line. So carrying our books, we walked into the line, and believe me, we had our set places to sit in the mandir. It was just, you know, the sidelines. Believe I'm not talking the current mandir, the old mandir where you had the sands. So the first step from the sand, right where you could see Swami's door and the bhajan hall and this place. So you could see nearly 360 degrees. That was the corner that I used to sit every day, like back the corner. So I'm sitting there, and Swami has to come that side and turn. That's the only place that's a short one-on-one darshan every day. So I would go and catch that place, and then Bhagwan comes, a very straight look on his face, looks at me and looks at Ashok, and very, very silent word utters, Amitabh Bachchan, huh? And I'm like, oh, God. And I'm pushing on, keep quiet down, don't talk. And believe me, I'm sure somebody else sitting next would have wondered, kya bola Swami, nahi malum pada. Because when Swami talks, only the person who is supposed to listen and get the message gets the message. You cannot expect that same thing to be heard by everybody. No, hey, Swami said something, I don't know. Swami would speak so softly. But in that glimpse, he would tell you, I was there. I was there. I know what you were talking. And I'm like, oh my God, can't say a word in front of him. You know, he's so every time, this is human tendency, and that's how we train. That's the reason why I say Swami is the divine master. He will show you he's the master every time. He may become one with you, he may play with you, he may joke with you, but you have to understand his motive, his goal is to see to it that you are on the path of spirituality. That's it. There is nothing else. So he was. I'll also share with you a beautiful incident that happened in same the portico. The portico was one hell of a place. He would just suddenly come in the morning, and in the morning I used to get darshan. The hostel students would not be there. The hostel students would come in the evening. So there were about 700, 800 students in the evening. Whereas in the morning, there were hardly 5, 6, 7, 10. Somebody's there, somebody's come from outside. ठीक है. नहीं तो हम लोग को full private darshan, full every day. So every day it was an interview, not in the room outside, but an outside interview. We used to stand. So Portico Darshan was amazing, amazing place. A Swami is standing there, and you look here and there, and you can make out from his eyes. And today he is in a mischievous mood. I don't know how many of you witnessed this or how many of you even felt. Today he is in a masti wala mood, and he look and he got that twinkle in his eye, unmistakable twinkle, and you something is coming. You know something is coming, and he look and say, "Hey Bombay," and I'm like, "Yes, Swami," and I like come running and like tremble because you don't know what Swami is going to say. Swami, one thing is you cannot predict. Swami, you cannot predict anything. And sir, कितना लोग रहता है घर में? Swami, he knows already. So I would never talk outside. I had this developed this art of just giving him the thought answer and receiving the thought answer back. I had no guts to talk to him because thousands of people are listening. How can you even talk? So I told him, Swami, you know the truth. So you know how many people. Hey, bolo, क्यों नहीं बोलता है? He was so strict and stuff. So every small thing he knew. He knew there was a guest in the house. He knew that guest had to go quick, not supposed to stay there for long. Everything he knew. You cannot hide from him. Amazingly. I'll share another beautiful thing that happened in the portico. Because Swami would come, he would be a student like us. He is 15-year-old. When he's walking there, he's finished that round of the devotees and he comes back. And that time, I don't know how many of you remember this was there was the Kieldas, uncle was there and standing sitting in the corner, and that's the time when I used to sit with him next to him there. So it was beautiful. And one fine day, Swami is like, okay, move, 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 and he would come and stand right in the middle. So we had that thought के corner में बैठेगा तो दर्शन अच्छा मिलेगा. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. स्वामी की इच्छा होगी तो आपको दर्शन बीच में भी आके देंगे. He would just tell. So wherever he would say, so Swami had this beautiful method of communicating without speaking the sentence. I don't know how to explain this to you, but one eye, one look, and you know what he wants, and the whole road is clear. So, so that the straight road is made, and then he will come and stand there, allow you to. We had this good fortune of touching his feet, pressing his feet. This is amazing. We got a chance to be with him. Every moment was. I mean, we would skip our lunches and our dinners, and we just wanted to be with him. That was पढ़ाई वढ़ाई तो देखेंगे होता रहेगा. It's going to happen. But the main goal was to be with Swami as much as you can, as you get a chance. घुस जाओ अंदर, बिल दो, बैठ जाओ. And then Swami comes once, and then that day, few days in a row, he was coming right inside the rows of students and chatting with everybody, including the time. See, students have got this, small doubts like, "Aaj khana acha nahi bana tha. I didn't eat food." This mental chatter going on in our mind. And Swami, hey, kya khaya tumne aaj? Like, Swami, idli sambar khaya? Acha, acha. And he'll call the warden and instruct, hey, why are the children not eating food properly? He'll take care of every small thing. Every small thing. You cannot hide from him. Remember this, you cannot. So one of those days was a very tricky day, and he came right and stood in front of me. And I had this brilliant thought. I said, आज मैं स्वामी का जो हम पद नमस्कार ऐसे लेते हैं, I will not put my hands on his feet. I will put my hands down and I will allow Swami to walk on my hands. And that was something that few students had done before. So I said, let me also try. So I stood this way. I mean, I'm sitting there and we're all looking up because Swami is like, we're sitting down here and my hands are on the floor this way. And you can imagine, right? And Swami glides. And believe me, when he glides, it's like, if you and me were to walk, we would be wobbly. Oh, किसी का हाथ है, किसी का. No, 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 no. He was like cool, as if he was walking on a straight plane. And he stepped on my hands. And he looked at me as if, wasn't this your desire? Look, I fulfilled your desire. And he's standing. And believe me, the human mind comes in and said, "Arey wah, मैं तो भगवान को भी उठा सकता हूँ." That is the thought. And moment that thought crossed my mind, you know what happened? He looked down, and then suddenly his weight started increasing. His weight started increasing to the point that I would have cried in pain. My hands had swollen and become red. I just did not know what to do. I'm like, Swami, I'm so sorry. It was a thought. Let me go. Like, just couldn't do anything. And then again he looks back, okay, now you understand what I am. And it's silent. Nobody knows what's going on. And he walks out, and my hands are red and swollen. And like, my God, what just happened? Swami had the power to change his weight. So when he came, actually it was not Swami's weight. He had actually lifted the weight, and I, like a fool, thought that मैं तो भगवान को भी हाथ में उठा सकता हूँ. What a stupid thought, but that's what he allowed. He allowed the drama to take place. He allowed the drama to take place because he wants to connect with you. He wants that connect. You think he doesn't know? He knows it. He wants that connect. He wants that one-on-one. He wants your heart and his heart to connect. That's all that matters. And you see, after years, 30 years also, I am relishing that moment. What a fantastic moment. What a beautiful, feeling I get when even I think about it. It's beautiful. So I'll also tell you, see this, I was in the hostel one day, and I developed this lot of allergy. There was a lot of pollens, right behind there were plants, a lot of pollens. I started developing a lot of allergy, asthmatic attacks. I couldn't breathe. I was like, oh God. And in the hostel there were no doctor facilities and all. You had to go to the hospital and get stuff and medicines and stuff like that. So it's just not available. Um, I was like, Swami, this is not fair. It's not fair. I mean, look at me. I'm suffering here. I can't breathe. And there was no facility to give me a medicine, or whom do I say? Everybody's busy studying. It's 9:30 in the night, and the lights would go away. I forgot to tell you. Sadhana, not just the inward path. For me, it was every path, outward path, inward path. किधर जहां नहाने जाओगे पानी नहीं है. Go in the morning when you get the water. Lot of difficulties, but then listen, you have to stay there because your goal is not that. Your goal is Swami. Everything is allowed. We go through everything just to be with the Lord. So during that time, I just couldn't breathe, and I was so fed up, tired, and not slept in the night. When you're asthmatic, you can't breathe, you can't sleep in the night. And I hear I have to submit assignments. Tomorrow is a test. What? Yeah, I mean, sometimes you wonder, my parents were there. I could have spoken, I could have done something, got some help. So I actually got a little angry that day. And I said, तेरे को मालूम पड़ता है how it is when I can't breathe? Huh? So I took the photograph, which was right in front of me. We had this beautiful photograph right in front of me, and I'm sitting there in my chair, my table. I don't know how many of you know that there's a small table that pops up and down. And I took my thumb and I pressed it right on his nose of the photograph. And I said, "Abhi tu bhi saans nahi le, chal. Abhi dekhta hu tu kaisa karta hai." And I'm like talking to him in my mind. And moment I pressed his nose tight, believe me, in that fervor of anger, devotion, emotion, all mixed, suddenly, at that very moment, my lungs start opening up. It's like almost as if somebody is giving me a shot of derifylin or something, or an Astelin, and I'm like, I can breathe. What just happened? These are very simple personal experiences which Swami tells you he is waiting for you to surrender. He is waiting for you to give him. And moment I pressed his nose on the photograph, I could breathe. I see these are all very personal moments. I'm sharing this with you because, experience and faith. Faith and experience. You never know which comes first. But I'll tell you, faith is already there in all of us. Experiences are only small things until our faith becomes very stable. Then slowly, experiences will go down, but the faith will be unwavering. So like this, not one, not two, not three, dozens and dozens of experiences a daily. Do you have any choice of accepting him as God? Not at all. There is no way you can refute. In fact, I remember Swamiji once said, even if you try, I will tear open your heart and enter. You can't stop him. You can't stop him because that is what he is or who he is. I'll also share with you a photograph that I have, which I had got an interview, a personal interview during my stay. It was, I think, 1990, 1988. And I'll share this photograph with you. It's signed by Swami. And when I showed the photograph to him, I said, Swami, when you sign this, I will take it like you're with me all the time. So I keep that photograph very close to me. And I'm just sharing this photograph. It is right here. Okay. This is the photograph he signed. Okay. And I told him that I want you to be with me. And that's how I used to, sort of connect with him. Now, coming to this, it was February, I think. Please tell me, brother, if we have time, because don't, I would not.
Yeah, you still have time till 7:45.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have lots to talk about. So whenever you say, I'll stop.
Go ahead.
So yeah, so I was, it was my birthday, and you know how birthday boys are. They are special boys. See, my boys, band boys, music boys, drama boys, birthday boys. It's like Swamiji has all these things, and all the activity that takes place is because Swami is in the center. That's it. He is in the center. So birthday boys. Okay, so birthday boys, the lines will leave at 4 o'clock, 3:30 or 4:45. 15 minutes, 20 minutes before, the warden will say, okay, you guys go with your trays and go and sit there. And then naturally we would be the first line. Sometimes two, sometimes three, sometimes four students are sitting there. And then he comes and then he says, he'll take the rice and he'll throw it on you. It's beautiful to get his blessing on your birthday this way. And then after that, he will go throw the sweets, by the way. Yes, I'll come to the sweet story later on. He'll throw the sweets to you, throw to everybody. And then he'll walk down, finish. And then when he's coming, he started giving, he had selected some people from Australia and one or two families from India to give an interview. And he just walked by me and said, there was, chal, tu bhi andar chal, let's go. So I'm like, oh, Swami is giving me interview. Didn't even know what to do, what to ask. So I'm inside the room. And as usual, I sat next to the corner, and believe me, I think there was just one more student. And the advantage of going alone, one student, two students, and then devotees, because devotees and students, they're two different categories. Swami would just love to be with students. So naturally, I mean, if you're a student, you know how it is. You'll be sitting close to him, you'll be massaging his feet, you'll be doing path seva, and that's a private moment. And I don't have hundreds of students with me, so there's no competition there. It's one-on-one. It's one-on-one. So like, wow, this is great. This is amazing. So I'm sitting there, and then Swami is like, looking here, hey me, Shepu, tell me your stories. What happened? So it began with a general conversation, and then suddenly he says, what is the way to God? And looks at everybody. And the Indian devotees just looking, because in front of Swami to talk is very difficult, because you cannot just say anything. You realize he's God, right? So and then there was this Australian couple, little elderly lady and man. They were sitting there, and then there was one, I think, one school boy who had some work or whatever. Swami called him also inside, and he was also looking. And then I was like, now he's looking at me for an answer. What do I say? But as I told you, that Swamiji had helped me develop this inner communication. I would talk to him and he would reply right here. So at that moment, flash, he sends a thought and he says, do good, be good, see good. That is the way to God. It's in my mind. And I said, Swami, he said, come. So I said, Swami, be good, do good, see good. That is the way to God. See, my student gave the right answer. See, he telling everybody. Now, what can I tell everybody? The answer also he gave. I never gave. I was so blank at that time. The answer he plants in your head. He's already planted that. It's not your doing. And he's so happy. And he's like, see, My student, he loves to, Swami would just love to show off the students. Okay, these like prized possessions of mine. So they go, see what is the weight. And then after generally explaining everything, he looks at me. I don't know whether you've seen Swami's stern face. Stern is like no messing up, no messing up. Okay. He looks at me and says, "See no evil, sir." And I'm like trembling. Like, what? See no evil, sir. And these are the words that have been resounding in my ears since then. This is 1988. See no evil. And that's one of the very basic things that I have followed as a personal sadhana. Because that's what he wants us to do. Why do we see evil in others? Yeah. Why do we see evil anywhere? See no evil. See no evil. So we've been trying to put that. See, whatever Swami says, yes, fine. But are we doing our effort? See, he's spoken to us so many times, hundreds of things. Little bit we can try, little bit. In our small way, we can start, So putting into action is extremely important. And then a rare opportunity happened. Another rare thing happened. After the interview and all is done, and if there are couples or families, he'll take them to an inner interview room. I don't know how many of you have been there. The inner interview room is a very small place and normally doesn't call students inside. So it's just the out. Students are remaining outside. If you're single, you're outside. Normally, you don't go in. But for me, I was called inside. Oh, chalo. Can you believe it's me on my feet like this, not on my knees, and it's Swami, and there is Krishna instructing Arjuna. That's the feel I got, and he gave me such amazing instructions that day. I'll share one or two glimpses of that because they're such powerful statements. I don't think anybody needs to do any more sadhana other than that. So it was, for me, it was a very personal moment, and believe me, it's not replaceable. These moments are not replaceable. I still remember the color of his robe. I still remember that, the light, bright orange color. I still remember the texture, the light coming in from everything is so live here. And then, and he utters a word. He says, every time you have to do action, anything. See, this world is full of action. Every time you have to do action, think, what would Swami do in that condition? How would Swami behave? Like that you do. What would Swami do? Like that you do. And he went on telling me a couple of things. So I'm just sharing one small thing with you, but I think it was so relevant. Because you see, Swami is the master. He wants you, and God has built you in his image. So you must do as he says, and the way, even the method he's teaching us. And then see, there are the serious moments. And then back again the next day in the portico, I'm sitting there, Kheldas uncle baju mein, main idhar baju mein. And then again, you know how Swami is. Some new VIPs would have come. Somebody sitting there, somebody from Delhi, from Bombay, the commissioner level. And see, these boys, very rich fellow. He's pointing at me like, Swami, what rich fellow? Poor fellow from Bombay coming here. No, very rich man. Hey, Bombay, come on. So I again went up in front of him because we don't know his game. We just don't know what he wants to do, what he wants to say, whom is he conveying the message. Maybe I'm back again. I'm on my on my knees and standing in front of him and he's saying, "Dekho, kitna rich aadmi dekho from Bombay, very rich man from Bombay." And he's telling everybody, "Dekho, Bombay say, either Bombay," as if like I didn't know what's happening. And the best thing a student can do is just keep his mouth shut, just keep looking at Swami and surrender everything. That's it. You can't utter a word there. So then he's telling me, "Kitna paisa hai?" Like, what, Swami? What are you asking? Bolo, kitna paisa hai? He loudly started telling me, "Bolo, kitna paisa hai?" Hey, rich man, bolo, kitna paisa hai? Don't worry, sir. I am not an income tax officer. Don't worry, sir. I'm not an income tax officer. Sorry. I absolutely had no idea. I had no idea why he said this, what he meant, but I did know that everything Swamiji talks to us about is having a spiritual significance. Everything. It may be in jest, it may be in fun, but note, he is not here for fun. He is the avatar. He has to have a subtle. So for others, it could be, "Arey, aisa baat kiya," and that's it. done. No, for you, there's a subtle significance. And I took it as our personal sadhana and our effort should be so much that we should build this wealth so much of doing good and being good and seeing good and following Swami's words. And no income tax officer in the world can take away that wealth from you. That is your true richness. That is your true wealth. Swami is your true wealth. So I would take it in an entirely different way. The learning would be sort of different. Similar to that instance, similar to that, I can just go on rattling forever on so many instances that would happen. I'll share this very personal moment. Swamiji used to allow the children to come forward, and I used to run to the first row. Used to run to the first row, and even if I don't get the place in the first row, thoda side please करके आगे घुस जाने का, and then think people how much जगह है. Even even in the interview room, believe me, I have seen. It's a very small interview room. I don't very very small. I have seen more than 100 people fit inside the interview. I mean, you have to believe this. This is, it's almost you go in and the interview room expands. How physically it's not possible for 100 people to fit inside. Maximum 25, 30. Tight. 40. Students, chalo 50. 100, 110. Impossible. But we used to sit. And we used to sit for hours. No air conditioner there. But no heat either. Whoa. You were talking about God. He has everything in control. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Again, the Portico story. I told you. I'll tell you about the. So I would talk about. I would talk about this. Swami throwing the sweets, and I had this lovely habit. I would never run to catch the sweet. I'm standing here in the corner, and I always used to be talking to him like this. Swami, I want a sweet. Today I want a sweet. Definitely want a sweet. And I could be sitting anywhere. It doesn't matter. Front, back, left, right. It doesn't matter where you are. That sweet has to reach. How will it reach? And I'm going to share with you something really amazing. Because with Swami, it's God, right? He's God. No laws of physics apply. Physics laws fail in front of Swamiji. Oh, Gaya. So Swami will take the bunch of sweets from a tray, and he'll chuck in this direction. He'll chuck, just randomly just chuck. And the sweet not only tosses and rolls in the air, but one or two sweets will toss and turn behind and fall into your pocket. The force is in the front. He's throwing it in the front. One or two sweets which are meant for you will come into your hand or in your pocket. Or there are times he'll play with you. You wanted a sweet, ja nahi deta hu. And I would talk to him like, aaj to sweet chahiye, I want a sweet today. So, and he'll throw and he'll go, mere ko sweet hi nahi mila. And then suddenly I look down, the sweet has landed. I didn't even know about it. Where did it come from? I didn't even see it coming. You have to witness a moment, a miracle. Every moment is a miracle. With Swami, there is no ordinary moment, believe me. And like this, believe me, I can go on and on. Yes, there is one photograph I'd like to definitely show, because we're talking about the Portico. And can you see the photograph, all of you? So Swami had this beautiful way of calling the students inside. Come and help me. I've got prasadam. I have to give the prasadam to people outside. And then he will call one or two boys, but of course, 2 boys ke saath 30 boys will go. If there are 4 boxes to be carried, you technically need 4 people or maximum 8, but we will be 24 people inside. Because when we go in, we get that extra interview. Swami will give us vibhuti, Swami will give us darshan, Swami will give us namaskar. That's it. So you have to understand, the whole focus is not the sweet distribution. The focus is Bhagwan ke paas hum baithe hain. Sometimes Bhagwan will allow us to take the sweets, distribute, and we will 3 of us will carry an empty box and put it inside, so that when we put the empty box inside, we can stay inside until Swami tells us get out from it. We never missed an opportunity to leave. So this is one incident, and I'm telling you this because it's very. So he picked me up, and I was there. And, this was Shravan with me, and Swami sent us out and said, "Go there to that side." There was this place where the cars are parked. The big shutters are there. The cars are parked just outside that place. We were there giving the sweets to the devotees, and on the left side there were students also sitting there. And immediately, very quickly, those of you who have seen Swamiji walking, he will pick up his robe a little bit, and he'll walk swiftly. He's got some urgent work, and he straight came out to me and he said, "Dekho, I sent you with the sweets over here, but see here, no, these devotees, they are not well." So that was the enclosure where the sick people were, and many of them have diabetes. You cannot give them this sweet. Now we are in a fix. They will tell us, "Bhagwan ka prasad hame do." And here Swamiji has restricted us. Don't give these sweets to them. What do you do? What do you do? Yes, Swami. So this is that moment. Somebody captured it. I got this photograph very later on. And Swami is pointing in that direction. He's not even pointing like a full finger. He's pointing. There are people sitting who are not supposed to eat sweets. Don't give them the sweet. You see how he's talking. This is amazing. So just sharing with you, this is the beautiful moments that we shared. This is like one, and he would take care of everybody. We don't know, right? Somebody must be not well or whatever. Kyun khayega sweet? So restriction there. That's it. Otherwise, Bhagwan ka prasad hai, kha lo. No, he will come and give clear instructions. So diabetes is mat dena. I don't know how much time we have, but I think I have one or two important photographs to show you. Yeah, this is a beautiful photograph. This is from I think this is my first year MBA, one of the first interviews. After the interview gets over, Swamiji himself takes prasadam and gives us. See, he's got this bowl in his hand, if you see, the silver bowl, and he will not allow others to give. No, he will get up himself and do this. And it's beautiful, being literally getting things in the hand from Swamiji. It's amazing. So those are like precious moments. How many people in this world would have ever got this opportunity to to get things from his hand like this on a daily basis? It was really fun. Again, I'm just asking you, if I have time, then I have a lot of other things to share, or maybe we can.
Yeah, I think we have almost done with the time.
Okay.
You, you can wind up
thank you so much.
a couple of minutes.
But if you allow me, I would like to say something before I end. You see, our whole life has to be in arpan to Swami. Our whole life has to be dedicated to Swami. We've got so much, and remember, Swami always says, "To whom much is given, much will be demanded." So we have to allow. And here also, Swami tells us what to pray. I mean, we don't have to pray on our own. He's even given us that. I mean, look, we're such students, we need to be taught everything. So the prayer that Swami has written, I don't know the date, but I have the prayer. He says, "Oh Lord, take my love and let it flow in fullness of devotion to thee. Oh Lord, take my hands and let them work incessantly for thee. Oh Lord, take my soul and let it be merged in one with thee. O Lord, take my mind and thoughts and let them be in tune with thee. O Lord, take my everything and let me be an instrument to work." And this is signed with love and grace, Baba. So this is the beautiful poem that I had in a book, which I'm showing you. I'm just reading it out. And there is another thing that I would like to share with you, that every devotee, see the disclaimer that I should have given right in the beginning is, every devotee has their own version of Swami. So when Dr. John Hislop wrote the book My Baba and I, he actually was wise enough to use the right words, because it's my Baba and I. All of us have a one-on-one relation. We're not going to have it through somebody. It's one-on-one, right? So I'll share with you another poem, and I'll close after that. Is Swamiji says, "The bird with you, the wings with me, the foot with you, the way with me, the eye with you, the form with me, the thing with you, the dream with me, the world with you, the heaven with me. So are we free, so are we bound, so we begin, so we end, you in me and I in you." Sai Baba. Thank you so much, sir, for allowing me to share my thoughts today. Sai Ram.
Sairam, brother, I think it was absolutely wonderful to listen to your experiences. And we didn't realize when it was, kind of when the time was up. And when you kept asking, I was hesitant to say that, no, time is up. We can still go on for another half an hour at least, if not more. But, since it's 8 p.m., close to 8 p.m., so we thought it's important to end. And if Swami wills again, we can have even part 2 in future to complete the rest of the
Anytime.
experiences.
Anytime.
But I think some of the important messages we could, collect from the words of wisdom, as you shared, was, that important message of see no evil, see what is good, and see good, be good, and do good. I think these are very simple words, but they are very profound. And even if you follow even one of them, say see no good, see good, and see no evil, I think that itself can dramatically change our life, because moment we are very conscious about what input we take through our eyes, I think our hard disk will be far purer than all the subconscious mind, which is the hard disk, will be far more purer and gives us the way to other things. So that was an important message for us that we take home today. Another aspect I could sense very clearly and throughout, it's Swami is part of a family. It's not God somewhere sits there and I'm here. He is part of us. Yeah, it's one-to-one. He's always with us, and it's just that we need to connect with him. So, in fact, maybe I can take that question, in fact, one-to-one, that question in terms of any suggestions that you have got, or any practices that we can implement to have that one-to-one connection with Bhagwan. Maybe I can directly ask that question before we wind up. Yeah.
Okay. I think all of us, we have a channel, a radio channel in our head, and that channel is NST, non-stop thoughts. All we have to do is to tune those channel to Swami, and doing so, I believe, on a regular basis, automatically the connect gets established. You have to just keep tuning. If you feel you're not getting the right answers, it's just a matter of tuning. The fact is that we are perfect receivers, and the universe is the perfect sender of all the signals, and there is no mistake. So really the effort here is not much. It's there everywhere. So one-on-one is already there. We just have to take it. We just have to receive it. We just have to accept it. Accept his love. He's always there. So for me, believe me, I mean, there's no special effort. Don't we keep thinking? We keep thinking. So rather than thinking and doubting, say, Swami, aisa kya kare? Swami, just put the word Swami and then direct it all to him, and the tuning becomes perfect.
Absolutely. I think very well said. So I think, and that's another lesson that we carry. I think that one message which Bhagwan gave you in the inner interview room, in that situation, what Swami will do. I think a lot of us grapple with this question about listening to the voice of conscience. And in very many sessions, we keep asking, how do we develop that voice of conscience? But I think the very easiest method which Bhagwan has given is, what will Swami do in this situation?
What will Swami do?
So Swami is obviously a collective conscience personified in a human form. So what will Swami do? And moment we have that, filtering, it becomes much easier for us to kind of take a decision or a call at that particular moment.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a very beautiful path, a very simple path, easy path for us to, kind of take home today with us. There is one more question which is coming up, which has come up on the chat is, Swami is love personified. How can we be like him? I mean, till now we are talking about connecting with him. Now it's the next level is, how can we be like him?
Okay. So see, whatever I will be telling you is based on my personal experiences. So forgive me if I'm not able to answer your question to your satisfaction, but our aim just should be to please him with our actions. That's it. In thought, word, and deed, just please him with our actions. And then soon, if you look in the mirror, you will not see yourself, you'll see Swami. That's the way I see it. because you have gone through that transformation. See, it's not you becoming him, it's you allowing the Swami which is within to reflect outside. It's really just looking at the same question differently. So everything that we do, thought, word, and deed, everything that we do must be focused in that direction.
No, very nice, very well said. And if I can add one line to you, what answer you gave, because one of the past sessions, another speaker gave us this thought. It is, pick up one quality which Bhagwan epitomizes.
Correct.
And typically, we say Swami is our guru, father, mother. And as children of Swami, we always naturally some qualities pass on from the parent.
Correct.
So, one quality which we can, which Swami epitomizes or lives in his life the way he is, and his life has been message, as he says, that will probably give us that chance to be like him. And once we are like him, then definitely, I think, as you say, look into the mirror and you see Bhagwan. But that's a high state, and we all need to work towards that.
True.
But
True.
very lovely. I think there's some of the questions that we could take. We are actually ran out of time. But I think it was a very brilliant session, very, very simple, nectarine and heart-to-heart session, throughout this evening. So heartfelt gratitude to you, Brother Dev, for taking the time out and
Thank you
sharing.
so much for calling me.
That was Bhagwan's intimation to get you. In fact, for the rest of the audience, just to inform, Brother Dev's suggestion came to us when we were in Parthi for Guru Purnima. So we take it as Bhagwan's intimation that Brother Dev should be selected for this session. It was we were just the postman doing this job. That's all. So, but grateful to Bhagwan for giving us this opportunity to, have this satsang and think about him, listen about his messages and carry home lots to, ruminate on. So thanks to you also, Brother Dev, for your time and efforts to take us through. And we will watch this, YouTube, obviously on this Sai Sessions channel, we'll have the recording, released in maybe by this evening or tomorrow morning at best. And do rest of you guys do watch it in case you want to rewind and see the session again, and pass on this link to as many people as possible to share Bhagwan's blessings and love and message to all. So with this, let's end the session. We'll have Samasta Loka and then Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय। साई राम।